Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have something a little different for you. We've got a video from Jay Plays. If you haven't seen his channel, be sure to check it out. There's a link in the description below. I've got links in the cards to all kinds of other videos from his channel as well. So here we go, we're gonna get into it right now. Check him out, it's a great channel.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another playthrough of Mage Knight. Today we're going to be playing with Arythea. Tovak's going to be the dummy player. We've gone ahead and set up everything as usual. The unit offer is Savage Monks, Magic Familiars and Guardian Golems. The advanced action offer that we have available is Rush of Adrenaline, Song of Wind and Blood Rage. And then the spell offer to start is Mistform, Veil of Mist, Mana Bolt, Mana Thunderbolt, and Flame Wall, Flame Wave. So with that, I think we can start. We do have one monastery, so we have one advanced action in the unit offer, and it is Shield Bash. I do like that card. And we draw up to our hand limit, which is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the cards we have are Improvisation, Swiftness, March, Concentration and Mana Pool. So now we just have to choose the tactics that we want for the first turn. So we get the day tactics out. And I think here I'm probably going to head up this way and maybe stop on our first turn just before the keep, see what's in the keep, and then we can go from there. So I think what I probably want is this turn is for planning, so we should be able to play one card and then have 6 if we want to go for the keep. So we'll take planning. The dummy player is going to take number 5, which is great start. That's unfortunate. And then that is that. So they go away and we can start the turn. So we are going to go first this time. So we'll go like that, and I think, like I said, I'll play March for move 2, just to move there, see what's in the keep, and it is, looks like the thugs. So we have a 3 physical attack, but it's brutal, 5 armor, and we would get 2 fame and +1 reputation if we defeat them. So yeah, that wouldn't even get us a level up, unfortunately. But okay, we'll leave it there. So we'll discard that. We'll draw back up to 5, +1 is 6. So we'll get 2. And we get Swiftness and Crystallize. Okay, so the dummy player goes, and it's 1, 2, and 3. It's a green. They have 2 blues and a red, so they don't draw another one. Let me just get those crystals. So 1 and 2 blues and 1 red. So that's their turn. They don't take any more off the top, and it's back to us. So I think here we will take on the keep. So we will play Swiftness for move 2 and Crystallize Sideways for move 3. So we'll assault the keep. That's -1 to our reputation. So we'll go down there. And they're going to attack for 3, but it's brutal, so I think I'll play Improvisation and discard Mana Pool for a block of 3, and then I'll play Concentration with the gold to power power Concentration. That gives me an attack of 5, so that's enough to take them out. That gives us 2 fame and +1 reputation. That gets discarded. We get 1 shield on the keep. We're not leveling up, sadly. This gets re-rolled, and it's a blue. So 2 blues and a red. We are drawing 1 extra for our keep, +1. Our planning doesn't trigger, unfortunately. So we will still draw 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we get Stamina, Determination, Promise, March, Threaten, and Battle Versatility. Dummy player then 1, 2, 3. It's a green. They don't have any green. Back over to us. And I think here we can try and recruit the Guardian Golems, which are the only unit available in the keep. So let's play Threaten with the red from the source for influence 5, reputation -1, and we can play Promise for influence 2, so that's a total influence of 7. We are still at 0, so that's that. We decrease our reputation by 1, we're still at 0. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in hand, so that's fine. That is a red, so still 2 blues and a red. We have 4 in hand, we're drawing up to 7, so 5, 6, 7. That's 5 plus 1 because of our keep, plus 1 because of planning, and we get Tranquility, Stamina, and Rage. Dummy player goes 1, 2, and 3. It's a white, they don't have any white. Back over to us. And I think here we can play Stamina for move 4 and move into or onto this ruins. So next turn we can probably try and defeat those enemies. And that's a green. So we have a green, a red, and a blue in the source. We have no cards to draw. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a blue, they're getting 2 more, 1 and 2. And then it's back over to us, and I think here, let's try and defeat this ruins. So we will draw a green and a brown token. So 1 green, 1 brown. And yes, so the green is this guy, so 3 physical attack with Swiftness and 4 armor. And the brown is, wow, 4 physical attack, poison, assassin, swiftness, and fire resistant with 6 armor. Okay, so here I think I will assign the damage from that guy to the Guardian Golems, which are physically resistant, so we don't take any wounds for that. This, I'm going to take 2 wounds into my hand. Well, that's into my hand and discard pile. So do I want to do that? So I would have Battle Versatility for attack of 4 or ranged attack 3. I could play that for block 5, but I need block 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. But then I wouldn't have the attack available. So 5, 6, 7. Although we do still have our Guardian Golems here. So we could do sign damage there, that no wound, and then we need a block of 8 here. So we could do 5, and then 6, 7, and 8, 9. So that would be 9, and then we wouldn't have enough attack here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I will take 2 wounds to hand, 2 wounds to my discard pile because he's poisonous, and then we need 10 points of physical attack here. So I think what we will do is we'll play Battle Versatility for an attack of 4 with the red from the source. Plus 2 from Rage is 6. Plus 2 from there is 8, and plus 2 is 10. So we wouldn't have had enough to block 8, unfortunately. So yeah, that is fine. Although if we did red and 6, 7, 8, then I could do 2, 3, 4. No, let's leave it at that. So we did assign damage here. He's physically resistant. We took 2 wounds to hand, 2 wounds to our discard pile. We played Battle Versatility with the red from the source for an attack of 4. Attack of 2 from Determination is 6. Attack of 2 from the Guardian Golems is 8. And attack of 2 from Rage is 10. Is enough to take both of those out. And we keep these in hand. So that is that. So that is a white. These get discarded. And yeah, we get 5 plus 3 is 8 fame for that. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we level up twice. So that's 8 fame. We also get an artifact as our reward. So first, let's go. You get Bow of Stars Dawn. When you play this, discard any amount of cards from your hand. You get ranged attack 2 for each card you discard this way. Fame +1 for each enemy you defeat in the current phase of combat. And then the stronger effect is each of your ranged attacks this turn is either doubled or becomes a siege attack of the same element. You may also double any siege attacks, but they become ranged attacks of the same element. And then Amulet of the Sun, gain a gold mana token if played during the night. Forests have their move cost reduced to 3. You can use gold mana, and you reveal garrisons of nearby fortified sites and all ruins as if it were day. And then the stronger effect is same as the basic, except you get 3 gold mana tokens instead of 1. I think I'll take Bow of Stars Dawn. Let's go with that. So this gets back to the bottom. We also get a new skill, and the choices are, let's see, these are called Invocation. So a wound can be exchanged for a red or a black mana token once a turn, and then a non-wound can, or a non-wound card can be discarded to gain a green or a white, or the motivation. I think I'm going to take motivation here. Their common skill is going to be the attack from Tovak. So Tovak's attack skill. We also get an advanced action, so we can choose Rush of Adrenaline, Song of Wind, or Blood Rage. And I think here we will probably go for Blood Rage, because it might be useful being able to take a wound because of Arythea's skills. So hopefully we'll get some skills that help with that. And then the next one is Firebolt. That would have been very nice to get. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in hand. We're next to our keep, so we have one more that we can take. We also get a shield token on that. This gets discarded, and we get, of course, Blood Rage. Dummy player then is 1 and 2. They're going to declare end of round next turn. Our turn, we can use Tranquility with a green from the source to heal 2. And then we have, we could, let's play March for move 2 to there. And yeah, let's leave it at that for this turn. And it's a red. These get discarded, and we draw our last card, which is the Bow of Stars Dawn. Planning goes away. They go, and then it's us. And here I think I'll play Stamina with the blue from the source for move 4. We'll explore here, and it is tile number, where's the number? Number 2. We're right next to a green mine, so that would be good to get on. We have a village, a magical glade, and an orc, which is a summoner, so he would summon a brown token. So that's there. I think we still have a move of 2, so I think I'll play Blood Rage sideways for, that will give us move 3, which I will use to move on to the green mine, and we'll leave it there for this round. We re-roll the source, and we get green, black, and red. So those go back in there. We refresh the unit offer, and we get shock troops, illusionists, and Utum guardsmen. And I just remembered we did not level up the second time, so we do have another command token available to us. Those are like that. Shield Bash goes away. There is still a monastery, so we get chivalry. They get Rush of Adrenaline, the advanced actions advance, and we get Blood of Ancients. They are getting a blue crystal for Mistform onto their inventory card. So they now have 3. And the new spell is Burning Shield. And then the last thing we have to do is shuffle up. Okay, so we draw up to our hand limit of 5. One thing I forgot was the crystal that we should have got, the green crystal for ending on a crystal mine. So 2, 4, and 5. and we get Promise, Tranquility, Wound, Mana Pull, and Swiftness. And we then go on and choose our tactics. So here, kind of thinking, if we take Preparation, we could search the deck for another wound and just heal it straight off the bat with a green from the source. And then we would get another green if we just stay where we are. And then later in the turn, we can make our way over to the village and hopefully recruit the Utum Guardsmen there using Promise. And that would be a good place to explore from as well. So I think we'll take Preparation with that plan in mind. They're going to take number 2, which is Long Night. So they're going to go first this turn. Those go away. We are going to search our deck for the wound, which is actually at the bottom. We'll reshuffle these. So yeah, let's heal those 2 wounds and then make our way over towards the village, I think. And hopefully we will be able to pick up those Utum Guardsmen, depending on what die comes in the source. But it would also allow us to explore 2 tiles from there, I think. So yeah, we'll leave that. So the dummy player is going to go first. We'll get that. 1, 2, 3. It's a green. They don't have any. So I think here I'll do Tranquility, heal those 2. And we'll leave it there. It's a gold, so no use whatsoever. Tranquility goes into the discard. We have 3 here. We draw up to 5, so 4, 5, and we get Battle Versatility and Determination. We're getting another green crystal for ending on the crystal mine. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a blue, so they're getting 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so over to us then. Here we're really short on movement, unfortunately, but we do have quite a bit of attack and block in our hand. So I think what I will do, we only have two movement, unfortunately. So let's use our motivation to get 2 more cards and a red token. So we get Crystallize and Blood Rage. So it's really not going well for us. I think here we can probably go, let's go with a move of 2 to there. Then we can play Crystallize sideways, and let's go with Mana Pull side. Oh, that's a bad choice. Promise, like, we really would like to get those Utum Guardsmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not going to. That's pain. That's a tough choice. So we need 1 more to be able to explore here. And I think I will use. Let's use Promise sideways to explore. So we get a tile number 9. So there's a dungeon, a mage tower, and a keep. So the mage tower, dungeon, and a keep. The keep is face down as well. We're left with 4 in hand here. We're really suffering for not having the move. Yeah, let's leave it there. Unfortunately, we waste that red crystal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw up to 5, and it is March. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a red, so they get 1 more. And then here, I think, so we have nothing to power. Well, we have the March, so we can move for 4. So we'll move to 2 there. And then we can either try and go for the dungeon or explore another tile and potentially go for the dungeon on the next turn. Let's explore another tile. Okay, so tile number 7, so another dungeon right next to it, another monastery. So we'll put another advanced action. It's pure magic into the unit offer. We have an orc right up the top, And then, yeah, let's, so it would be 2, 4 to get to that dungeon and 4 to get into that dungeon. So we'll leave that, I think, there, and then we can potentially pillage the village on the next turn. So March gets discarded. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw 1 more, is 5. It's Bow of Stars Dawn. Dummy player, 1, 2, 3. It's a white. They don't draw again. I think I will pillage the village this turn. So we get -1. And we get 2 more cards, and they are Stamina and Swiftness. Okay, so do we want to go for the dungeon? I think we will. We'll go for, let's go for this dungeon here. So we'll play Stamina and Swiftness for move 4. So that gets us to 4. We'll draw a brown enemy, and we get this guy, so he's paralyzed. Oh no, 6 physical attack, 4 armor, with a paralyze ability. So I think we will play Battle Versatility for, why don't we play Battle Versatility and use a red from the source to get a block of 4? Although we could just go for a ranged attack of 4. So let's, instead of that, we can play Bow of Stars Dawn and discard. Let's discard Determination for a ranged attack of 2, and then we can also discard Blood Rage for a ranged attack of 2. So that's a total ranged attack of 4 in the ranged and siege attack phase, so he doesn't even attack. And then we get Fame +1 for each enemy we defeat in the current phase of combat. So we've defeated 1, so we get 1 Fame. So those are getting discarded. The only alternative would be to actually block using the red from the source and hopefully get a better die roll for the next turn, maybe a white or something to be able to use Mana Pool. But I think for that, let's do it the way we did it. So these get discarded. We get 5 Fame for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are leveling up. We are left with Mana Pool and Battle Versatility in hand. We are also getting a reward. So we have to roll the die. A gold and a black is a spell. Anything else is an artifact. And we get a blue, so we're getting an artifact. And our choices are Shield of the Fallen Kings, block 6 or 2 block 4 against different attacks. Cold Fire block 8 or up to 3 Cold Fire block 4 against different attacks. Or Banner of Glory. Assign this to a unit you control. The assigned unit gets armor +1 and +1 to any attacks or blocks it makes whenever this unit attacks or blocks. Fame +1. And then units you control get armor +1 and +1 to any attacks or blocks they make this turn. Fame +1 for each unit that attacks or blocks this turn. I think the Shield of Fallen Kings is almost too good to pass up. Yeah, let's go with that. It's quite flexible in you can use 1 block of 6 or 2 blocks of 4. So let's go with that. That goes on top of our deck. This goes to the bottom. We are re-rolling. No, we're not. Sorry. We have 2 in hand. We are getting a new skill. And we have... So play a wound card sideways for 2. Or we can Dark Negotiation once a turn, influence 2 during the day or 3 at night. So Power of Pain is also once a turn. And we can play 1 wound sideways as if it was non-wound and get +2 instead of +1. I think I'm going to take the wound skill. Yeah, let's do that. So that goes there, and we get I Feel No Pain. I think that one's called. No, I Don't Give a Damn. Sorry, or the common skill offering. Let's go over there. So yeah, we have 2 in hand. We're drawing up to 5. So 3, 4, and 5. We get a shield token there. And the cards we get are Stamina, March, and Shield of the Fallen Kings. dummy player then, they get, so they're going to declare end of round on the next turn, and it's back to us. I think here we can play Stamina and March for move 4, and I think Mana Pull Sideways for move 5, and we'll move into the Magical Glade. So that gets a little bit, or some cards out of our hand. We can hopefully explore next turn and potentially take out that Orc as well. So yeah, that will go like that, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, let's leave it at that. We get Improvisation, Concentration, and Threaten. Dummy player declares end of round, and then it's back to us. And I think here what we want to do is let's play Improvisation with the red from the source for a move of 5. We'll discard Threaten with that. We do have a black for starting on a glade, but that is not going to help us. So we can use 2 there and 2 there to explore. So we'll move that slightly. And so this one first, and we get, okay, so tile 14. There's a deep crystal mine right next to us, a desert, a maze, and another keep. So we'll put that face down. That could be one to go for, given we already have 1 keep. I really would like to get a spell into my hand, but I don't see a way at the moment. And then we can use this here. So this is, okay, so tile 4, there's a village, a mage tower, and an orc. So the orc will go like that, and then mage tower goes face down, and we have a village as well. And then we can play Concentration for a red mana token. We can engage that orc in combat. So we have a block of 6 or 2 blocks of 4. We also have our units here, so let's do that. So he's going to draw a brown, and the brown is, okay, so paralyzed with a physical attack of 6. Okay, so let's play Shield of the Fallen Kings for a block of 6. So he's blocked fully. Then we have to generate 4 attack, which we can do with our Battle Versatility using the red. We have attack of 4. That's enough to wipe him out. This gets discarded. We get +1 reputation and +4 fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So up to 20. That gets there. We discard those. This is, unfortunately, we didn't get to use our last card, which is Rage. As the dummy player, the turn is over. So we will re-roll the source, and it is blue, white, and green. These go away. We get 2 more, so we still have 1 and 2. So we have Pathfinding and Ice Bolt. The unit offer is getting refreshed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a core tile out, which is unfortunate. The unit offer is Illusionists, Peasants, and Thugs. Okay, so the Illusionists are the only ones that can be got in a Mage Tower, and the Thugs can be got in the Keep. The Thugs and the Peasants in the village as well. Okay, so that black goes away. We are giving Song of Wind to the dummy player, advanced actions, advance. We get Training as the new one. They are getting a blue crystal for Mana Bolt to their inventory, spells advance. We give them another blue, so yeah. And then Expose is the new spell in the offering. That could be an interesting one to go after. And we then shuffle up for the dummy player and ourselves. Okay, so we draw up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we get March, Rage, Promise, Swiftness, and Crystallize. And for the tactics choice, we can choose any of these. So here, I'm thinking we could probably go with taking the white, taking Mana Steal and going for the white from the source. Yeah, let's go with that. So we'll take Mana Steal. They are taking the right moment, so that's out of the game. We are going first this turn. Let's take the white and put it there. And then we can use March with the green from the source to go. Oh, we also have a gold to use for starting on a magical glade. So we'll use March for move 4 with the green from the source to get to the village. And then we can use Influence with the gold for influence of 4 to recruit the peasants. I think that will do it for this turn. We also reveal the keep because it's day, and it's so they have 5 physical attack. They are not fortified, but they are elusive. Okay, so and then the mage tower is 3 fire attack. They have physical and fire resistance and an armor of 4. Okay, so I think that's all we will do for this turn. So we'll leave that there. The gold goes away. The green gets re-rolled, and it's another green. We have 3, 4, 5, and we get Determination and Threaten. Okay, dummy player, 1, 2, and 3. It's a blue, so they get 4 more. Wow, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 blue in there. Okay, back over to us then. And I think here we can pillage the village, so we'll get 2 more. That's a reputation -1, and we get Shield of the Fallen Kings and March. Okay, so that could change things here. And I think here we can use our motivation for a red crystal and 2 cards. So we get Stamina and Improvisation as well. Okay. And I think here we can go for the Mage Tower. So let's play March for move 4 with the green from the source, or Threaten Sideways for 5. So we'll enter the Mage Tower. We lose 1 on the reputation track. We can also bring the Orc into the battle. Okay, so we can play Shield of the Fallen Kings for block 6, which is enough to block this guy because he has 3 fire attack. So block 6 is inefficient. It's physical block, so it's inefficient against fire attack, but so we need block 6, so that's fully blocked. And then we can play Determination for block 2 and Stamina Sideways for block 3, which blocks that guy. So they're both blocked. And then we can use our Peasants for attack 2, our Guardian Golems for attack 2. Or actually, we don't even need to block this guy. What am I doing? We can allow the Guardian Golems, who are physically resistant and have 3 armor, to absorb that damage. So we don't even need to block that. So yeah, we can play Improvisation with the red that we got from motivation. We can discard. Let's discard Crystallize. So that will give us an attack of 5 against. If we do 5 for him, and then we need another 3. So let's play the white Swiftness using the Mana Steal die for another 3. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's fully gone. Physical resistance. So we need 8 to kill him. He's done. Then we haven't used this yet, so we can use we need another 3 damage, so let's use Rage and the Peasants for 4, so that's him gone as well. So just to recap, we played March with the green from the source for move 4 and Threaten Sideways for 5. That got us into the Mage Tower. Because it is the day, it costs 5 movement to get in. When we went in, we played Shield of the Fallen Kings for block 6, which fully blocks this guy. Then we played, we allowed the Guardian Golems to absorb the 3 physical damage from him. We used our red for motivation to play Improvisation and discard the Crystallize for an attack of 5. Plus 3 from Swiftness with the white die from Mana Steal. So that's 8, which is enough to take out this guy. so 8 physical attack, and then we used Rage for attack of 2 and Peasants for an attack of 2 to take out this guy. So that leaves us with these 2 in hand. We will tidy this up. So red, these 2 get re-rolled, and it's a white and a green. These are being discarded. And that's that. We get 5 plus 2 is 7 fame and plus 1 on the reputation track for him. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're leveling up again. We're also getting a spell for conquering the Mage Tower. And I think I'm going to choose Expose here. Yeah, let's use that. We level up for a new command token. And yes, so we have 2 in hand, and our hand limit is 6. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we get Concentration, Bow of Stars Dawn, Battle Versatility, and Expose. That Mana Steal goes away. And so we go on then to the dummy player's turn. So 1, 2, and 3. It's a green. They don't have any, so it's back to us. And here I think I want to use Concentration. We'll power it with the green from the source and use Stamina. Sorry, that should flip over. So we get a move of 6. So we'll move 3 there and then use another 2 for the first core tile. And it is tile number 9. So it's, yeah, not a city, unfortunately. We're right next to a refugee camp. We have a labyrinth, a mage tower, and a draconum. And the draconum is, okay, so he's arcane immune, 8 physical resistance, and he would summon 2 brown enemies. The good news is he's behind that wall, so we could leave it there. So we've used 5 points. We would need another 5 to get there. And I don't know if I want to do that. So we probably want to try and get over towards this way, so we can explore there and then hopefully maybe there as well. Yeah, I mean, both ways are pretty not great. So we could go this way, which would be move 5 and explore here. And that might allow us to get that mage tower actually. So maybe this is the better way to go. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we'll leave it there. So that's 4 in hand, and that's a white. So we draw up to 6, so 5 and 6, and we get stamina and mana pool. Okay, dummy player, 1, 2, 3. It's a white. They don't have any more. So back over to us. And here I think I will use Stamina with the blue from the source for move 4 and Determination sideways for move 5. And we'll move into the desert and hopefully on the next turn. I mean, yeah, let's do that. I never refreshed the spell offer, sorry. So we have Tremor as the 3rd. Okay, so yeah, we can leave it there. So we have 4 in hand. And we get a red. Draw up to two more. So we get Swiftness and Tranquility. Dummy player goes 1, 2, and 3. It's a red. They get 1 more. Our turn. Let's play Swiftness for move 2. And we'll get this tile. It's the blue city, number 6. Oh, the draconum. Okay, so we get that, and it is 4 ice attack with Swiftness. He's elusive with ice resistance as well. Ouch. Okay, and then the blue city. That is going to be 2 purples and a white. So 2 purple, 1 white, and the blue city. So all of these have elemental attack increases. So this can go here. and that there. We have one more monastery on the board, and it Spellforge is the one. Did I take? So I had 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in hand. We have one more here, so I think probably just makes sense to, yeah, we'll leave that turn there, and yeah, we'll draw our last card, and it's Blood Rage. Dummy player goes, and we get Swiftness. So they're going to declare end of round on the next turn, so it's back to us. So I think here we can, let's play Battle Versatility sideways, Expose sideways, and Mana Pool sideways. So that's a move of 3. Or actually, let's swap Tranquility for, no, let's keep Tranquility. So that's a move of 3. We can move in there and attack this guy. Well, first let's reveal what's inside the city. So we have 6 fire attack, fire resistance, and 5 armor. 5 physical attack with poison, and then 3 ice attack, paralyze, swiftness, and 7 armor and fire resistance as well. Okay, so they're going to have increased attacks as well because of the elemental part. Okay, so we can take on this Draconum. So he's coming in with 4 ice attack. We're not going to block it, so we'll take 2 wounds into our hand. And then we can play Blood Rage with a red from the source for an attack of 4, or we can take a wound to increase that to attack 9. We will. So that's going to be 9. Although if we block, it would take, no, we don't. I mean, we could use the red to fire block 4, which would be efficient, although it is swift, so we would need a fire block of 8, which we're just not going to have. Okay, so let's take the wound to hand to increase it to 9. We need 14 points of physical attack. We can play this and discard Tranquility, which gives us ranged attack of 2. So that would be 11. We can play 1 wound sideways for 2, so that's 13, and we can use the Guardian Golems for an attack of 2, which is 15, which is enough to take this guy out. We also get +1 fame for each enemy we defeat in the current phase of combat, so that's going to be 7, +1 is 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are going to level up. We get +2 on the reputation track. That goes over there. So yeah, that's that. We can discard these, and it's a white, so 3 whites in the source. We're left with 2 wounds, and we can level up. So we're getting okay, so that could be useful. That's the cooperative skill Ritual of Pain. Once a round, except in combat, throw away up to 2 wound cards from your hand. Put this skill token in the center. Okay, so I think it's probably going to make sense to take that. Yeah, let's do that, because we've just taken 2 wounds. The skill for Tovak is his motivation, so that could be appealing on the next turn. And then our advanced action, I think I'm going to take Firebolt. These advance, and the new one is Force of Nature. Ooh, siege attack 3 or block 6. That's interesting. Okay, so that's our level up done. We draw up and we get Firebolt and 2 wounds in hand. Tovak declares end of round. I'm going to use this to throw away 2 wounds, like so. I'm going to play Firebolt for a red crystal to our inventory, and that is all we can do now. So we will go on and re-roll this. Sorry, the Mage Tower also gets revealed, and it is 6 physical attack, poison, assassin, arcane immunity with 6 armor. So that goes there. This gets re-rolled. It's green, green, and green, so 3 greens for the night. That's like that. these are removed, so we still have 3 monasteries, and we have Mountain Lore, In Need, and Heroic Tale. Okay, so the unit offer, we do have core units now, or elite, sorry, because we have core tiles on the board, and the first is Fire Golems, Scouts, and the second elite is Heroes. Okay, so this goes back, that's there. This goes to the dummy player's deck, these advance, and we have Refreshing Walk as the new advanced. They're getting a red crystal to their inventory. These advance, and the new spell is Cure. Okay, so we just have to shuffle up and renew these, renew our skills, and we can shuffle up then. So I think here, let's draw up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm thinking we can go for the Mage Tower before going directly into the city. So we get Stamina, Promise, March, Swiftness, Determination, and Rage. So with that in mind, there's a few good spells like Burning Shield and Tremor, which would be good to get before going in for the city. So I think given we have 3 greens in the source, I might want to take Mana Search here, and hopefully get a bit of flexibility from the source. So the dummy player is going to take number 3, which we just took. They're going to take number 1. So from the dusk, they're going to go first. These go back. We are second. They're going first. So 1, 2, and 3. It's a white, so they don't go again. We are going to take 2 of the greens and re-roll them, and we get a green and a blue. Okay, so that might help us a little bit. Yeah, I think so. Here we can play March and Stamina for move 4. We will attack the Mage Tower, Reputation -1. They're going to do 6 physical attack. It's poisonous, and they have Arcane Immunity and Assassination. So we want to block this. So we'll play Determination with the blue from the source for block 5. We can also play use the Peasants for block 2, which is 7, more than enough to block them. And then we can play Rage with a red from our inventory for attack of 4. And let's use the Guardian Golems for an attack of 6, which is enough to defeat them. So we will get 5 fame for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't level up, the red goes away. This gets re-rolled and it's another blue. So we are putting a shield on this Mage Tower. And then we can choose a spell. So I'm really torn between Burning Shield and Tremor here. The Fire block 4 would be excellent against this guy. So we could use Ice block 4, well, Fire block 4 from Guardian Golems and Fire block 4 from the Burning Shield. And then that would give us a fire attack of 4, but he is going to be fire resistant. I think, it's so tough. Let's go with Tremor, I think. It's just so strong. So yeah, let's do that. And then we are drawing a new one, and it is Chill. That would be very nice, actually, the Chill. Okay, so that's that. We do not level up. We have 2 left in hand here, and we are drawing up to 6. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we get Tranquility, Expose, Blood Rage, and Tremor. The dummy player's going 1, 2, and 3. It's a blue, so they're getting another 4. Wow, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that's like that. And then it's over to us. So let's first re-roll the green and the blue. And we get 2 blacks, so that's not good. So this guy is arcane immune, so our Tremor isn't going to work. Unfortunately. That's very unfortunate, actually. I mean, we could play Tranquility to draw 2 more cards. He's going to need 16 damage in order to take him out if it's physical damage. This isn't going to work either. Expose isn't going to work on him either because he's arcane immune. We could get 9 points there. Let's play Tranquility. This should be gone. Which would allow us to draw 2 cards, although we could also heal. So if we can go for an attack of 9, we don't have a white, unfortunately. Let's play Tranquility for the green to draw 2 cards, and we will draw Mana Pool and Crystallize. Okay, so I think we can, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Our limit is 6, so if we probably just discard Tremor, that gets us to 6, and then we can probably discard Crystallize, and hopefully draw something a little bit more useful. Yeah, let's do that. Probably discard. No, we'll keep Promise because I think we still have Threaten, so we may be able to pick up the Fire Golems. Although we could also potentially go for the Scouts, but that's only siege attack of 1. We could play these 2 sideways for a move of 2 and explore this tile. So we'll move these slightly and we get the red city. Okay, so there is, we're right next to a Draconum. Okay, so this is going to be, so he is 6 cold fire, fire and ice resistance, and he's brutal with 9 armor. And then the one on the far side is 9 fire attack, physical and fire resistance with 7 armor. And the red city is going to be level 8, which is brown, 1 brown, 1 purple, and 2 white. 1 and 2. And of course those are all going to be brutal. So we'll put those there, not there. There is a ruins on the far side as well. So it's night, so that will go face down. Okay, so that is going to, I think, end our turn there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's end it there. This is a blue. It goes like that. So we have 5 and we are drawing up to 6. So we draw 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get March. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a green, so they don't draw anymore. Back to us. Of course, now I'm regretting letting go of the Tremor because that could be used against this one. Okay, so let's re-roll the, do we want to re-roll the 2 blocks in the source? I think we probably do. So let's do that first. And it's a gold and a black. So that's not good. I think we can, let's, so that would be 2 wounds, 4 wounds from that guy. Okay, let's use our motivation for a red crystal. And we will also draw 2 cards. So 2 more is Firebolt and Battle Versatility. And I think here we can take on this guy. So he's coming in with cold fire attack of 6 and it's brutal. So if we don't block it, we're going to take 4 wounds into hand And I think I'm going to let this one go through. So we'll take 4 wounds, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 wounds to hand. We can then respond with Firebolt using the red that we gain from our motivation for a ranged fire attack of 3. Oh, he is fire resistant. Why don't we can use this for an attack of 2, physical attack of 2, this wound. So that will use that skill. We can use this for a physical attack of 4, so that's attack of 6. And then we can use that for an attack of 2. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 physical attack. And then I will use, let's use March Sideways for an attack of 9, which is enough to take him out. And we save this mana or Firebolt. We can also use this skill to throw away 2 wound cards. And then next turn we can use 1 Sideways for 3. So that's that. So just to recap, we took on this guy, we took 4 wounds to hand because he's doing 6 damage, but it's brutal, and we have an armor of 3. So 4 wounds into hand. Then we responded with Battle Versatility using the red from our motivation for an attack of 4. We used Blood Rage for an attack of 2. So that's 6. This Sideways for an attack of 1, which is 7. So 7 physical attack, and then the wound Sideways for an attack of 2, which is 9, and that is enough to take him out. Now I can decide if I want to get rid of Firebolt. I think I will play it for a red crystal. And that is all I will do for this turn. And yeah, that's fine. This goes away. Although if we are getting a +3 from a wound next turn, that would be 3, 6, ranged fire attack of 6, or sorry, ranged fire attack of 3, +3 physical, which would be 1, so that would only be 4 against him. It would probably cause us to take a bunch more wounds, so yeah, let's do that. I'll keep these in hand and then discard these. So that is going to be +2 in the reputation track and 9 fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we level up. That goes over there. We are putting this here. We're still at a limit of 6 cards in hand. This gets flipped. Refreshed, sorry. This goes to our discard pile, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we draw 1 more, is 6. It's threaten. Okay, so dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a red, they get 2 more, so 1 and 2. Back to us. Do we want to reroll? We probably do. Let's reroll the gold and the black in the source, and it's a black and a red. So not great. And then what do we want to do with our turn? And I think here we can try and recruit the Fire Golems. So we can use Threaten with a red from the source for influence of 5, Promise for influence 2, 7, and this Sideways using this skill for influence 3. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's more than enough to get the Fire Golems. And we could actually just use these 2, so 5, 6, 7, 8, because we have that skill. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll get these Fire Golems, and that decreases our reputation for using Threaten. We are left with these in hand. I think I will discard Expose. We could potentially get the heroes next turn. If we got a white and some favorable cards. So let's keep these in hand for now. These will get re-rolled. It's a green. That goes there. We have 1, 2, 3. We're drawing 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and it is Swiftness, a wound, and stamina. Okay, dummy player, they're going to declare end of round on the next turn. Back to us, we will re-roll the black, and I think probably the green. Yeah, let's do that. Black and green will re-roll. And it's 2 black. Okay, so not particularly favorable. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 left in our deed deck. Okay, so I think here we can use influence for 2, the wound sideways for 2, that's a total of 4 influence. We'll recruit the scouts with that. Yeah, let's do that. So that's so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to need to discard down to 2 to get to see all those cards. So I think we can discard a Swiftness. We already have one in hand, and probably let's discard. So we could actually have 3, 6, 7, 8. So 4 would be efficient. 4 ranged attack from the Fire Golems, 1 siege attack from the scouts. And then if we got a white, we could potentially have a total of, if we got a white, we could use mana pull to get 2 whites, which would give us a ranged attack of 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 siege attack is 7. That would be down to 3, so we would be a ranged fire attack of 4. So we would actually be just 1 short of, let's try it. Let's go with discarding stamina and keeping these 3 in hand. And yeah, let's discard those, and then we have 3 in hand, so we're drawing another 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and we get Bow of Stars, Doron, Improvisation, and Concentration. Dummy player declares end of round. Back over to us. I think we're going to discard or to re-roll the 2 black, and they are white and gold. Okay, so back to us. Okay, so I think we can take on this guy. Yeah, let's do that. So I think we can kill him in the ranged and siege attack phase. He is physically resistant. We have the Fire Golems, so we can use the red for ranged fire attack of 4. So that takes his armor down to 4 because it is efficient. And then we can play Bow of Stars Dawn and discard, I think we'll discard Improvisation with that for a ranged attack of 2. We can use the Scouts for a siege attack of 1. And then we can play Mana Pull with a white from the source. And we can take 2 mana dice and set them to any color except gold. We will set them to white. Which will give us 2 white tokens, which we will use for the 2 Swiftnesses. So that's ranged attack 3, ranged attack 3, ranged attack 2 from Bow of Stars Dawn. So that's 6, 7, 8, plus the ranged fire attack of 4, which is efficient. So the ranged fire attack of 4 takes him down to 4 armor, which is physically resistant. So we'll need 8 physical attack, and we have ranged attack 3, ranged attack 3, and ranged attack 2 for a total of 8 ranged physical attack, which is enough to take him out in the ranged and siege attack phase. So we gain +2 reputation, and we get 9 fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're up to 58. We also get fame +1 for each enemy we defeat in this phase. So we go up to 59. That goes there. These, well, it's the end of round, so it's not going to make a difference. This is discarded. We are pushing these into our discard. We do not level up there. We didn't even need to use the scouts. This is discarded. Mana Search goes away. And yeah, then we go on to refreshing all of these. Our last card was Shield of the Fallen Kings. Okay, so these are refreshed, and yes, we are re-rolling the source for the next day, and it's a blue, a gold, and a green. These are getting refreshed, and the first one that we get is Ice Golems. The next is Ultim Guardians, and the regular unit is the Utim Guardsmen. Okay, so we are in a mage tower, so we could actually recruit the Ice Golems if we want. These are getting removed. We still have 3 monasteries, so we get Peaceful Moment, Steady Tempo, and Power of Crystals. So those are the 3 there. This gets, or the dummy gets training. These advance, and we get Dodge and Weave for the new advanced action. The spells, they're getting a red crystal to their inventory for the Burning Shield spell. These advance, we give them a red, and the new spell is Meditation. Okay, and then all we have to do now is shuffle up, and we can go on to the next round. Okay, so we draw up to our hand limit of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we get Threaten, Promise, a Wound, Improvisation, March, and Determination. And our last tactics are Rethink, or Early Bird. I think I'll take Early Bird, so we can go first on this turn. So that's there. So I think here, let's, I might want to try and get those Ice Golems, given we're in the Mage Tower. So I think we can use Promise for Influence 2, this Sideways for Influence 2 using this skill. So that's an Influence of 4, plus 1 on our Reputation track is 5. We need 8 in total, so Threaten for 2 is 7. And then we can use the Peasants for Influence 2, which is 9. That's enough to get the Ice Golems. And I think I'm just going to disband the Peasants and replace them with the Ice Golems. These get removed from the game. And yeah, that leaves us with Improvisation, March, and Determination in hand. So these will get discarded. We didn't use anything in the source. So we have 1, 2, 3. This will get refreshed. And we draw another 3, so 4, 5, and 6. And we get March, a Wound, and Stamina. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a white. They don't draw any more over to us. And I think we probably want to start moving back towards here. So we'll play that Sideways using the skill for move 2. And we can use Stamina or March for another move 2 to get next to the city. I think I'll just use, let's use March. Yeah, March. So that gives us a total of move 4 to move into the hills. Do I want to keep these? I mean, Stamina and March, we could probably discard one of those. And yeah, let's keep those 3 in hand. These get discarded. We are drawing up to 3, or up to 6, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, and we get Shield of the Fallen Kings, Tremor, and Blood Rage. Dummy player 1, 2, and 3. It's a green. They don't go again. Back to us. Okay, so I think here that should be refreshed. We're going to use our motivation skill to gain a red token. And we will also get 2 cards for that. And we get Firebolt and Bow of Stars Dawn. Okay, interesting, because I think with the other way we could have taken this out and taken a few wounds into hand, which we would have been able to probably recycle using these. But now, so I think here we can, let's play Stamina for move 2. So we're going into the blue city. These are our targets. We lose +1, we lose 1 on the reputation track. We are, so these are, this is an ice attack of 5. So we need fire block 10 to be efficient, or cold fire block 10 because it has swiftness as well, and this has to be blocked because it's paralyzed. And then this is also +2, so that's going to be +8 because of the bonus that they get for the blue city. So what I think I will do here is I will use the red crystal for fire block of 4, which will take this guy's attack down to an ice attack of 6. So I will need 12 points of physical block to block this guy, and I'm going to use the Shield of the Fallen Kings for block 6, improvisation for another block 3, and I will discard, let's discard Bow of Stars Dawn for that. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we can use Fire Golems for a block of 3 as well, so that's 12, so he's fully blocked. We can use Ice Golems for a block of 3 and Determination for a block of 2, which will block, where'd he go? There was this guy. So that's a block of 5, a total block of 5. We can play this Tremor using the green in our inventory for everyone to get armor -2. So he's down to 5. He's down to 3, and he's down to 3. This guy hasn't been blocked yet, and I think I will. Let's take 2 wounds to hand for this guy. So he's coming in with 6 + 2 is 8, and we have an armor of 4. So we'll take 2 wounds to hand for that guy, and now we go on to the attack phase. So we can. Let's play Blood Rage or Firebolt for a red crystal to our inventory, which we will use for Blood Rage for an attack of 4. We can take a wound to increase this to attack 9, which we will. So that's a total attack of 9. We will use the our skill here for a wound played sideways to go to 11, and they have 5 + 3 is 8, + 3 is 11. So they're grouped together. They share fire resistance, but we're doing physical attack. So yeah, that's those 3 dead. And we have 2 wounds here, which we can use this skill for to flip and throw them away. So just to recap, we played Stamina to move into the city and lost a reputation. We used the red crystal from our motivation skill for fire block 4. This guy was doing ice attack of 5, but we need to defend for 10 because of swiftness. So fire block 4 brings it down to 6. The remaining 6 ice attack we need to block with 12 physical attack. So we play Shield of the Fallen Kings for a block of 6. We play Improvisation, the basic effect, and discard Bow of Stars Dawn for a block of 3. That's 9. And we use the Fire Golems for a block of 3. That's 12. So he's fully blocked. We played Ice Golems for a block of 3 and Determination for a block of 2 to block this guy. This guy, we took the wounds to hand. So 8. We took 2 wounds into hand. Then we used the Firebolt for a red crystal, which we used to power the stronger effect of Blood Rage. And we took another wound to hand to increase the attack to 9. Played this sideways for 11. And of course, Tremor decreased all their armor by 2. So he has 5, he has 3, and he has 3. So that's a total of 6 + 5 is 11. If we group them together, they share fire resistance, but none of them are physically resistant. So that's enough to kill all 3. And then we use this skill to throw away these 2 wounds. Excuse me. And that is the end of the turn. So we'll discard the red and the green crystal. This wound stays in our hand. These are getting discarded. We still have the scouts available. This gets discarded. The Guardian Golems has been used. These 3 are getting discarded. And yeah, we used all our cards that turn. So these 3 are what we destroyed, and we get 5 plus 7 is 12 fame, plus 4 is 16. So we go from 59, 69 to 73. So we level up once. Those go over there. And yeah, we can go on to the level up and we get a new skill. And it is, okay, so this is polarization, and it's once a turn you can use 1 mana as a mana of the opposite color. See token diagram. And actually, I'm just realizing, going back to the battle that we just did, we used our, where is it? Our firebolt for a red crystal to our inventory. So we could have done that and kept the red crystal in our inventory, and used a gold from the source to power the, I think it was the Blood Rage. So yeah, let's do that. So this will get re-rolled, and it's another gold. So yeah, our skills then, polarization. Once a turn, you can use 1 mana as a mana of the opposite color to that in the diagram. During the day, you could use a black mana as any color other than black, not to power the stronger effective spells. At night, you could use a gold mana as black to power the stronger effective spell, but not as any other color. Okay, so, and then the other one is burning power. Once a turn, siege attack 1, or fire siege attack 1. And I think we'll take the flexibility of this. Yeah, let's do that. So that goes over there. The common skill from Tovak is a blocking skill. So that's that. We also get an advanced action, so we can choose Force of Nature, Refreshing Walk, or Dodge and Weave. And I think I will take Force of Nature, so that can go on top of our deck. And then, yeah, that is all. We refresh the advanced actions and we get Ambush. So that would have actually been a nice card to get. And then we can draw up to our hand limit of 6 plus 2 because we now have the city. So we'll put 1, 2, 3. So 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the cards we get are Tranquility, Stamina, Crystallize, a Wound, Concentration, Swiftness, Expose, and Force of Nature. Over to the dummy player. 1, 2, and 3. It is a green and a red, so we will take another 3 off the top for the reds. So 1, 2, 3. And then it's back to us. Okay, I think we can play Tranquility to heal that. And then I think we can go for a spell here. So we can play the 7. There is a blue in the source and chill is in the spell offer. So I think we can go for that. So we have 3 influence. We're at 0 on the track, so we need another 4. And I think I'm just going to play these 4 cards sideways. So that will be 4 influence for those, plus 3 is 7, plus a blue to gain chill from the spell offer. These advance, and the next one is charm. Okay, so that's that. This gets re-rolled and it's another blue. So that goes over there. We have 2. We're drawing up to 8, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we get Battle Versatility, Rage, Mana Pull, Swiftness, and Chill. Dummy player goes, and 1, 2, 3. It's a blue, so they're going to get another 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Back over to us. So I think here we can probably try and burn this monastery down next to the blue city. So we could, why don't we, let's play Scouts for move 2, which moves us onto the monastery, and then we are going to burn it down. So 1, 2, 3. We're at -1. We draw a, I think it's a purple one. Just give me 1 sec. Yeah, it's a purple. We can't use our units. So we get, okay, so it is paralyzing, 2 ice attack, and then ice resistance and physical resistance. So really not the one we wanted here, because we had chill for target enemy does not attack this combat, and we can't use that now. So this might be a bad idea. Okay, so here we have an ice attack of 2 and it's paralyzing, but we do have the Ice Golems, which are ice resistant, so we can assign that damage. They will absorb it. Their armor has 4 is greater than 2. And then we need to come up with either 4 points of fire or cold fire attack, or 8 points of physical attack. And I think we can, let's play Battle Versatility. Well, first let's play Mana Pool, and we can use 1 additional die from the source, or we can, let's use a gold to power this, take 2 mana die, and I will set them to red, and we'll get 2 red mana tokens, one of which I'll use for Battle Versatility for attack of 4. And then we can use Rage with the other for an attack of 8, so that's enough to kill him. So that will get us 5 extra fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're up to 78. He goes away. We get a shield token on the monastery. And then, yeah, that is enough for that. These will go away. The reds are not re-rolled, the gold is, and it's a blue, so we have 2 reds and a blue, and we get our reward, which is an artifact. So we can take druidic staff, discard a card, depending on its color you get white, move up to 2 reveal spaces to a safe space. Blue, get 2 crystals of any 1 color. Red, ready a level 3 unit or lower. Green, heal 3, or Sapphire Ring, gain a blue mana token and a blue crystal to your inventory, fame +1, or you have an endless supply of blue and black mana this turn, fame +1 for each blue spell you cast this turn. I think given we have chill, I'm going to take Sapphire Ring here. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, makes sense to do that. Oh, sorry, that goes onto into our deck. These get discarded, we draw up, and we have obviously Sapphire Ring. Dummy player goes, they're going to declare end of round next turn, back over to us. And I think here we can, let's play Crystallize with the blue from the source to gain a red into our inventory. And then we can play Sapphire Ring to gain a blue mana token and a, well, actually we can just use the mana token, can't we? So gain a blue mana token and a blue crystal to our inventory, which gives us +1 fame, and then we can use the blue mana token instead of the one from the source. And then we can just play move 2 to move back into the city. And yeah, that might give us an option to get a spell early on the next turn before going for the red city. So yeah, that we'll leave it there. Unfortunately, we were just short of leveling up here. 1 short, which is a bit of a nuisance, but okay. That's the end of the round. We will refresh these, our skills. This source is getting re-rolled, and it's a white, a green, and a red. White, green, red. Then we are refreshing these. We only have 2 monasteries now, so we get a ritual attack and a regeneration. We're refreshing the unit offer, so that goes away. And we get heroes, which can be recruited in a city. We get Utum crossbowmen, and we also get the Amotep freezers. So that's that done. we go on and refresh the advanced actions. So they're getting Refreshing Walk, these advance, and the new one is Stout Resolve. Okay, and then they're getting a green crystal into their inventory for Cure, these advance, and the new one is Snowstorm. So the green goes in, Snowstorm goes there. And then all that's left is to shuffle up and we can go on to the next round. Okay, so we can draw up to 6 plus 2 is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we get March, Bow of Stars Dawn, Force of Nature, Expose, Stamina, Determination, Crystallize, and Shield of the Fallen Kings. So not exactly what I wanted. I was hoping for some influence there. We could have picked up the Amatep Freezers or another spell if we had got some influence on the first turn and then tried to make our way quickly over to the Red City. So a little disappointing there. So we can choose between Midnight Meditation and Sparing Power. I think I'm going to choose Sparing Power, which means the dummy player is going to go first. So they go 1, 2, and 3. It's a red, so they get 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to need to start moving ASAP. So we'll spare power. We'll play March with a green from the source for move 4, and we'll use the scouts for move 2. So that will get us either to there or there, but I'll choose here because we're still next to the city, so we'll get the extra card draw next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get 1 more, which is 8. If we go for the Mage Tower, though, yeah, if we go for the Mage Tower, we could potentially get one of the spells. So we have a choice between Meditation, Charm, and Snowstorm. If we go to the Mage Tower, so influence 4, we get a crystal of any color to our inventory, or get a discount of 3 towards the cost of the unit. One enemy does not attack in the attack phase, gain attack equal to its attack, including elements, if any, but ignore special abilities. You can target only other enemies with that attack. I think given we don't have much influence in hand, we just go for the forest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll draw 1 more for 8, and it is Swiftness. Dummy player, 1, 2, 3. It's a blue, so oh no. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh no, so they don't. This could be very quick, so we need to get next to the Mage Tower or the city as soon as possible, I think. We never re-roll this, sorry, and it's a black. Not great. Okay, so now it's our turn, so we're going to spare power first. And I think here we can use stamina with the blue crystal for move 4, so that gets us into next to the city. Because it's night, it costs 3. So the enemies we're going to face are, so 3 separate physical attacks of 2. He is ice resistant. 2 physical attacks of 3. And these are all brutal, by the way. And he has brutal. He's not fortified. And he has an armor of 7. 3 ice attack, paralyzing, swiftness, 7 fire resistance. And then 5 cold fire attack with fire and ice resistance, assassination, and paralyze. Okay, so let's see, what can we do? Okay, I think we'll play Crystallize with the white and get a white to our inventory. And then we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, let's leave it there. We're not going to draw anything, and so that's a black, not helpful. So we don't draw anything. The dummy player, 1, 2, and 3. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we really need to get going here. This is not ideal. I think it's going to be a little too early for us. So let's spare power. Actually, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one turn. So okay, I don't think we should have got that fourth sparing power there. We will, I think we're going to have to go for this. So let's flip our motivation, get 1 red token and 2 cards. And we get Firebolt and March. Then we can use sparing power. We get Tremor, Battle Versatility, and Tranquility. Okay, so I think here we can play Tranquility for that should be gone, I think. Yeah. Tranquility to draw 1 card, and we get Sapphire Ring, which honestly doesn't really help us all that much. I mean, it gives us unlimited black, but we only really need a black for Tremor, I think. And then we can use our white as green for that, and a black from the source. We have enough red, I think. I mean, it would give us ice attack 6, but I think let's try this first. So we'll go with use the white from our inventory along with this skill to use it as a green. So this skill plus a black from the source. So target enemy gets armor -3, or all enemies get armor -2, but armor -4 if they are fortified. So these 4, 3 of them are fortified and 1 cannot be fortified. So I'm going to choose all enemies get armor -2 or -4 if they are fortified. So this guy gets armor -2 because he can't be fortified. All of these are armor -4. So this guy's down to 2. This guy's down to 4. And this guy's down, or 3, sorry, and this guy's down to 4. So I will use, let's use Bow of Starsdawn. We're going to break this and have each of our ranged attacks this turn become a siege attack of the same element. So we can, let's use the red crystal from motivation for a ranged fire attack of 4. We will use 1 of our red crystals from our inventory for ranged fire attack of 3. That's a total of 7 siege fire attack because we've broke the Bow of Starsdawn. So we can take out, let's take out, so if these guys are, interesting. So we can actually use, let's do this first. So Battle Versatility first. So we will use the red from our inventory for a ranged attack of 3. That becomes a siege attack of 3, which we can use to take out this guy. Siege physical attack is efficient against fire resistance. Remember, his armor is down to 3 because of earthquake. So he's gone. Then we can use, let's use, we can use this break shield of the fallen kings, or actually, do we even need to? Let's use our siege fire attack of 4, 5, 6, 7 against him. So he has an armor of 2, remember, and this guy has an armor of 5. So that's a siege fire attack of 7 against these 2 guys, neither of which are fire resistant. He is 2, he is 5, that's 7, so they're both dead in the siege attack phase. We can break the shield of the fallen kings for a cold fire block of 8 against this guy who has a cold fire attack of 5. He's fully blocked, and then we need a total of 8 physical attack. We can use the Ice Golems for 3, Guardian Golems for 2, that's a total of 5. We can use Determination for 2, that's 7. And then we can use March Sideways for 8. Did we, give me one sec, did we play March? No, so let's actually, I don't think we used 2 movement to get into the city, so we'll use March for move 2 to get into the city, decrease our reputation, and then we can play this Sideways for a physical attack of 1, which is enough to kill him. So to recap, we played March, moved in, lost our reputation. We broke the Bow of Stars Dawn to make all of our ranged attacks siege attacks this turn. We used a red crystal that we got from Motivation for Battle Versatility. The stronger effect gives us ranged attack of 3, which after playing Tremor, using the white from our inventory as a green, using the skill and the black from the source, gave everyone armor -4, except for the purple guy who is not fortified. He got armor -2, so this guy is down to armor of 3. Ranged attack of 3 becomes siege attack, dead. And then we took the 2 red crystals that we had in our inventory, used 1 for the Fire Golems ranged attack of 4, and 1 for the Firebolt ranged fire attack of 3. That's a total of ranged fire attack of 7, which becomes siege attack because of Bow of Stars Dawn. These guys had an armor of 7 -2 is 5, and 6 -4 is 2. That's a total of 7, neither of which is fire resistant. So we had a siege fire attack of 7 to take out these 2. And then we used our Shield of the Fallen Kings. We broke it for cold fire block of 8. This is a paralyzing and assassination, but it's not swiftness, so it's enough to block this guy. He has an armor of 8 -4 from Earthquake is 4. And then we used attack of 3, 4, 5, and that would have been enough actually. Yeah, that would have been enough. We didn't need those 2 because his armor was reduced from the Earthquake spell because he was fortified. So he went down to an armor of 4. We needed 4 physical attack, which we got through the Ice Golems and the Guardian Golems. So yeah, that's all for this combat, and we can tidy up. So these go away. White, the black gets re-rolled. It is a white. The reds go back in there. Those are all dead. This is discarded along with all of these. That gets refreshed. These are going into our discard. We get 4 shield tokens on the city. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can buy an artifact for 12 there. That should be there. Then we are left with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 cards in hand. Let's take our fame for these. 9 plus 7 is 16. Plus 5 is 21. Plus 5 is 26. So we are on 79, 89, 99. That would be 105. So we level up twice. We get one more command token, and a new skill, which is a red crystal or a movement. I think I'll take the crystal one. The common one is Tovak's cooperative skill. And then we also get an advanced action, and I think I'll take Stout Resolve. Although the next turn we may be able to take down this guy. So you may discard a wound to increase the effect by 1, move 3. I think I might actually take Dodge and Weave. So that goes on top of our deck. Sparing Powers disappears. And we have one more turn. So we can, let's see, do we want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we draw up to 7 plus 2 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the cards we get are Improvisation, Threaten, a Wound, and Dodge and Weave. And we have one more turn to try and maximize our score. Okay, so I think we can take on this last Draconum here. Okay, so we will play Dodge and Weave, which reduces one enemy attack by 2. So he's down to 7. We'll take 2 wounds to hand for that. Then we can play Expose with the white from the source. Target enemy loses all fortifications and resistances. So he's just a 7 armor now. We have ranged attack 2. That would be taken down to, we need 5 more. And we can play that for 3 and discard Threaten. So that's an attack of 3. And then Determination for an attack of 2. So that's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has lost all fortifications and resistances, so he's dead. That gives us +2 reputation track and a total of 8 fame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 113. We can play. We can use this skill to throw away 2 wounds. And yeah, that's fine. And then I think we can use Sapphire Ring for a blue mana token and a blue crystal, and fame of +1. So there, and fame +1. And then, yeah, that's all we want to do for this. So yeah, that's everything, and we can discard all of these. In terms of the cards that we had left over, so that Sapphire Ring, I was hoping to be able to use that with our blue spell. So we had Chill. Target enemy does not attack this combat and gets armor -4 for the rest of the turn. So yeah, that would have been very, very handy to have. But it was close to the bottom of our deck, so unfortunately, given the speed that the dummy player moved, we didn't get to use that. These get discarded. And then I think all that's left then is for final scoring. So I will sort out the cards and we can come back for final scoring. Okay, so we broke these 2 artifacts, so these go back on the bottom of the deck over there. And we finished with 3 spells in hand. Expose, Chill, and Tremor, that's 6 points. So we go up to 120. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 advanced actions. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 1 artifact left over, that's 2. Only 1 crystal, so we didn't get any points for that. Our units were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So another 9 takes us up to 15. And then for our sites, so we had 1 keep, 2, 4, 6. Where's that coming from, that shield? That must be there. 8. Then we had 10, so I think that's 10, and then 12. Yeah, so 12. That will be 15, 12, so 27. And then that includes the adventure sites. We had 3 wounds, so that's -6. So we'll go back down to 21. And then flip it over and we get +10 per conquered city. So we had 2, so 31, 41. +15 if all cities were conquered. That goes to 56. +30 for each unplayed round. There were none. +1 for each card remaining in the dummy player's deck. There is only 1. And then +5 if the end of round was not announced on the last turn, which it wasn't. So we go up to 62. And that is all for scoring, and we finish on a total of 182. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me know in the comments, as always, if you have any thoughts or suggestions and things you would have done differently. And yeah, that was good. So I think that's going to do it for today. We can leave it there, and hopefully you can join again next time. Thanks for joining.